Hello everyone, I'm back again. I've just literally come out of the Time Manning stream, so we're still wearing the same colours from that, or rather the same hoodie. Let's see how the flamethrower handles now. A lot of work's gone into this. I just want to check out the new version and just see how this works. This is the tier 2 stuff. I'm going to deliberately do it in the underground base first because I want to see the improvement to the lighting if possible. The idea was that the flamethrower should give off a pretty bright light. Oh, fun stuff. So this is 102F, I believe. Literally just updated. So let's spend some time with some flamethrowers and go burn some stuff again. Come on now. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Mia's mech was sliding there for a moment? I have no clue why I did that.
Sending us here with no backup?
Okay, so it's still a little bit subtle.
With enough firepower and mobility to execute
okay, the range.
The infantry would have been caught like a rat in a trap.
The range on the tier 2 seems to be a little bit better now, from what I can tell immediately and what I remember. I'm gonna have to compare these two together. We'll see how it handles. It feels like it's got a little bit more sustain on it now, at least just from holding down the trigger like that, but it all depends on combat. Hey Guns, nice to see you again.
Next.
Dominant Dom sliding. It's gonna be interesting to see how this works. Like, I still think it could use a little bit more on the lighting in terms of toning it up a little bit, but it's not as subtle as it was previously. So
the second storage facility to the far northeast has prototype equipment specifically for mech units.
Let me in.
Useful. All areas can be accessed through corridors leading out of the main hub in the middle of the facility.
Roger that, Command. I'll see to it. Echo 7
okay.
out.
Let's get some kills while I'm waiting.
Team. I want you to stay here and guard the entrance. I'll take on the interior myself.
Oh, I thought there was an enemy there, but apparently...
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Apparently they might be over there in the distance. I just need like one hit.
Corridors are narrow, and I don't want
no.
friendly fire.
Okay, so that's not happening.
Really hits the fan down there. We don't know how stable the facility is either. No point in all three of us getting stuck if it caves in. Otherwise, who's going to win this war? The idea was to try and fire a volley over there and see if we could hit anything with the cannons, but it's not happening. I'm moving out.
Okay, let's see about this.
You got it, Captain.
Okay, that's a lot better interior. Still playing around with the barbecuers. Yeah. Hopefully it won't make me look like a psychopath again like last time. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but last time it was subtle. Now it's a lot better with the lighting underneath the mech. I feel like it actually lights it up a lot more, which just looks better. I don't know. My initial thoughts of, oh yeah, it looks a little bit subtle. That might have been because of the lighting outside. I didn't take that into account.
No, this place was abandoned for a reason.
One thing I didn't also see was the ammo count, like the base ammo count for Epiroth gear. I might have to check that out. I think it was like 500 or something. Because I remember making a note about it, saying that in the 700 region was a little bit too much. Oh wow, yep, 310. Oh, we are just melting through here, but then again, that's what it's for.
Captain, what's going on?
Reds, or something that looks like them, and lots of them.
Do you need backup?
Still wish we could get the blue flames on here, but even if we can't, just the range difference will be good. By the way, shout out to Stealth last time, and then Flaky for doing the tests on the range. Because we really needed to check that out. Okay, so it's got 600, roughly. Hang on. Oh no, so it does have 720. Flamethrower with Holy Death. Yeah, it's meant to be a really good upgrade. What I'm going to have to do is test out this version, and then compare it to the other one. Oh my god, we're just melting through everything. I just love the trail of fire this thing is leaving. Like I was saying before, the range was not working as intended with this, so it didn't look like it was going really long range. Now it does.
The objectives from here.
So I guess we'll find out how much of a difference it makes when we check out the tier 0 and then the tier 1. Nothing compared to the blessed shotguns. Like, actually, I'm really liking these flamethrowers right now. Just I mean, it is tier 2, so it's going to be strong, but the initial first reactions are normally changed after like an hour's worth of play with me. Because I start slowly getting used to things and certain situations, and then be like, oh, okay, maybe we can get a little change in here or there. Honestly, I'm hoping that this will be the last version of the flamethrowers. Okay, so we are just melting everything here. That's good. They have pretty quick cooldown. That's good. You still actually do overheat quite a bit, but the cooldown is it's relatively fast as well. It'll be offset by other parts. Remember, I'm doing this with basic parts, so yep, there we go. Okay, so that's good. That's good because it can't carry you. It's like I was admittedly trying to get in and into that room so I could bottleneck them, but because I'm using tier 0 parts there and just kind of pushing and not sort of letting up, that was why I ended up dead there. Okay, so now the whole deal with it is how do we compare the tier 2 to that to the tier 1? So not tier 1, sorry, tier 0. Basic part, weird approach. Yeah. So we now have a slight bit of difference. We got armor on the tier 2. On the tier 1, there's no armor around the fuel cylinder or the igniter there. So what we'll do is we'll go to a raid because it's quicker. We don't have to wait for any characters to talk. The approach will be just seeing the difference in range, because if it's significant and it visually is conveyed to the player, then that's better. You know, you don't want both flamethrowers looking like they go the same range if one of them's supposed to be longer. Visually it needs to convey that, otherwise it's not good for the player. It gets confusing. Okay, so we got... Oh, okay, so that...
Raiding again, Echo 7? Alright.
Maybe? Hang on.
Monsters will keep coming. They will keep getting stronger. And the items you might find...
That's... Hang on.
Call for an extraction when you want to leave. Don't be late for the extraction.
Roger.
It's hard to tell now. It looks like it's got a little bit of an arc to it as well now. The only thing I can think of is try and get that tree over there, right? Okay, I can get the tree from that range. The other one there is roughly the same range, which means we should be able to get it with the tier 2. Wait, the tier 2 can't get it? Hang on. What is going on here? I'm gonna have to check this out. Let's just torch the entire area for a moment. I just love watching them all run into a wall of fire there and just dying. I don't even actually have to shoot them. I can just set up a wall of fire and watch them run into it and die. Right, so if we go here, try and get that tree. I can't... Wait a minute. Is the A3 the... It was... I've got to remember the left-hand one is the tier 2, which would make sense to the massive range. And the tier 1 would be this one. Hang on. Can I get that tree from here? Oh, I did, okay. Can I get the other one from here then with the tier 0? It's hard when the enemies are in the way. Okay, so you can kind of tell a little bit. It's it's a little bit awkward. Like, you can tell that one definitely goes really far, but this one still looks at least like that, like it can go pretty far. This one, what do you guys think? Which one looks like it shoots more, like further? Because this one on its own, especially when you're moving and stuff, kind of makes sense. This one, maybe as it's just leaving the barrel. It's, it might just be me. It might just be me, like, with my initial impressions again. It's just really kind of weird.
Supply helicopter is on the way. It will reach nearest drop zone shortly.
I'm gonna have to test this in combat. Like, this was the idea of trying to have one of the flamethrowers be a different color as well, was to make it easier. You know, like the tier 2 being the blue one that was more intense. I just love the way we are just spitting fire at them. Can we do that with the tier 0? Oh, we can actually. Wait. Does it have an arc now? Like a proper arc now?
I need a repair kit. The mech is all busted up.
Because if you can arc it with the tier 0, then... No, you can't. Okay, so the tier 0 is definitely more of a close range one now. It's a little bit more obvious when you're using it in combat like this. It'd be hard to tell if you were dual wielding one with another. Did they both have the same amount of ammo when I started, or what? I do love how the tier 2 just melts everything at range. I say that and then it overheats. So that's the shorter range one. Oh. Come on now. Oh. That moment where I'm getting shot up by a group of ranged enemies here when I'm trying to do this stuff. Definitely love the stronger nature of the tier 2 weapon. And by that I mean, you know, just obviously tier 2 being an upgrade, it's going to be stronger. You know, tier 0 isn't too bad either now. Let's try the tier 0 more. It's the one on the right. When you fire them both like that, they kind of look as though they go the same distance. Because the flames merge in with each other. That's the only problem I have at the moment. But that's primarily because I'm being stupid and dual wielding 2 of them. You'd probably... Unless you really want to light stuff on fire and have a good laugh with them on launch, I don't think anybody's going to be dual wielding that much. I could totally be wrong about that, though. Can we still... Oh, we can still shoot down that kind of stuff. Right, let's... Tier 0. Okay, it's actually taking a little bit longer to burn the larger enemies. That's good. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Big boy running at me here. Can you just get off me? There we go. That moment where I'm overheated and I actually have to start backing up. Ow, ow. Come on. Okay. So we're only going to be using the tier 0 for the moment, just to see how well it does in combat. Looks like it does pretty decently, but it's I'm gonna have to use the left one.
I'm taking too much damage.
The thing with this here at the moment is I'm not seeing the larger enemies because of the wave consistency. Like the waves in horde mode or raid mode can be random, and that one's deliberately throwing more ranged stuff at me, which is not good when you've got a mech that is primarily like close to mid range. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go into the campaign and we'll do Battle of Yerevan. It's mission 7. That is narrow corridors with ranged enemies. So we're gonna have some fun and see what it's like in sort of an urban scenario. Like the enemies are gonna have very narrow corridors of fire at me, but at the same time, I'm gonna be doing the same to them. I'm just gonna have less range, so it's gonna be a case of charging straight up to them, whilst possibly getting shot to pieces and trying to burn them. Absolutely love Yerevan. It's so good.
With the breather you gave our boys by tearing down the enemy
Like I love all the
artillery,
atmospherics in this game. They're just so nice.
The capital city of Armenia. This is a big part of Operation Blinding Light. For now, I need you on station. Hold your position and help the boys defend the area. I will delegate you a task once.
Here we go. So we got some stuff coming. Let's set the table for them.
Echo 7 holding position.
I just love that. We just coat the floor with
Good
flames.
to see you by my side again, Mia.
Oh, my knight in shining armor missed me.
Coat the floor in flames and then just watch as everything dies.
Lack of guns and explosions.
And we almost torched some of the friendlies as well. It's actually really good for taking out enemies when they mob a tank like that.
I've seen worse. We can do
Let's
this.
try the tall boys at the back, see how well the tier 0 works on them.
I've heard about you. You're the
Come
one who
on,
shot
don't do
down
too
all the
much.
enemy
Oh, okay,
artillery
that's
all by
better.
yourself.
That's way better. It feels like it takes longer now, which was what I was asking for previously, so it's not too
Here
effective.
they come. Get ready.
Oh, that's so much better now.
Fuck me.
Okay, so how much does it do to the Spider Queens then? Oh, this is so good. Like we were going backwards and forwards trying to figure out the correct damage values for this thing, primarily so that it didn't feel too overpowered at a low level. And that feels just right there, for that at least. Let's try number 8 was where you first get introduced to the Spider Queens, which are a larger enemy similar to the tall worm dog or the giant spider boy that we just fought. So I figure we go try torching one of those with the tier 0 and see how good that is, and then we try a tier 1 and a tier 2 together. I'm hoping with this is looking good so far. Apart from, you know, my initial reactions within like the first 10 minutes. This is looking good and feeling good as well.
Mark the turning point of the war against the Reds. The plan is to lure the swarms towards each other in the middle of this sector. We'll force them to merge and cluster as much as possible. Then, when the green light is given, the Air Force will move in and unleash hell upon them with the biggest display of fireworks ever seen.
Okay.
This will be the largest joint mobilization of aircraft the world has ever known.
Finally. Sure feels good to be on the offensive for once.
Here we go. We just gotta wait for one of them to come out, so I might end up using the tier 2.
Course of action. Move out, Echo Team.
I just love watching them run into walls of fire now. That is so much fun.
Alright, Mia, you take up the right flank. Jake, you take the left. I'll hold the center and we'll push these things together in the middle of the sector.
Copy that.
I just love the way we ignite the floor, then the floor has damage over time in that position, and you can just use that to melt them.
Didn't know you had kids, man. You never mentioned them.
I keep working families separate. I've just been thinking.
I actually need to compare the overheat times as well. That's one thing I haven't done.
Chris is 4. Lana is the oldest one.
Let's try burning everything
she's
here.
the one you gotta watch out for.
A little troublemaker, huh?
Okay, so it ignites quite a bit, but it doesn't do amazing amounts of damage to everything at tier 0. That's good.
You're right.
Tier 2, on the other hand, is just melting through everything.
We're down.
Roger that, Captain. Time to spin up the barrels.
Oh, come on now. Let's try one of the artillery enemies, the tormentors as they're called. Okay, so that's good. It kind of melts it in similar fashion to the tall worm dog. Oh, come on now. Oh, can we, oh, jeez, I boosted to the side there and rammed into something. It's fine. It's no big deal. We're good. Okay. We'll just use the tier 2 at the moment. Oh. That's one thing I haven't actually tried yet, is spam firing it. Like that. Seeing, so you don't actually overheat that quickly by doing that, but you don't get the sustained burn either. I wonder if there's any downside to actually doing that as opposed to using it normally. You know, how you would, just coating everything in fire. Because as much as I enjoy just like painting everything with napalm, surely you'd think there would be one downside to pressing the button too rapidly like this, but because that actually saves you from overheating as fast. It's like tapping the trigger like this is actually a little bit of a better way of using it. Then it becomes more like a, at least this one becomes more like a flame rifle. I say that, but it actually does have a tiny arc to it, which is really nice to see actually. Primarily because it just means that you can get more range on it. Everybody's getting absolutely mobbed back there. Come on. I'm gonna have to use the tier 2 here and just burn everything there around near me. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna need some more. Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're gonna need some more health here and ammo. Because I'm out.
I need a repair kit. The mech is all busted up.
Can't do testing if I don't have ammo. I just realized I'm on like 400 health. Oof. Alright, I was on 400 health.
Another wave. Get ready.
You got it, Captain!
Nope. I was trying to see if I could put a wall of fire down there to defend myself against those shots. Apparently not. Apparently you have to hit the shots directly to block them. Oh, okay. I went straight into that. My bad. I've got to wait 17 seconds before I can get all my HP back. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're good. Okay. Well, let's use the tier 2 here. Hey Marcus, still testing the flamethrower? Yeah, no, I'm testing the new update for the flamethrower. There's a little bit of a range difference now. And a little bit of a damage decrease. A little bit of a brightness patch by the look of it on the darker levels to make it brighter to see. I'm just trying to use the tier 0 and the tier 2 to test both difference in range and difference in damage. Like for instance, that was one of the enemies that I was actually waiting to appear. Let's see if we can burn. Oh my god, yeah. Tier 0 on this thing is a lot better. We're going through everything and it's not killed it. That's good, that's good. Tier 2 should melt it like mad. Yep, there we go. Oh, that feels satisfying. Right, so that's the damage more or less sorted between those two. So now I just need to try the Tier 1 with the Tier 0. Or the Tier 1 with the Tier 2 as well. Let's see what the difference is between both of them. The range seems rather longer compared to the last one I watched. Yeah, with the Tier 2, it's meant to have longer range. Actually, that's one thing I didn't check, was the overheat. I'll just do that real quick. And also, I got a message, so I'm just checking that out. Ah, okay. That's fine. Somebody sending me a message about stuff. It's all good. It's all good. Oh. And I minus the game, and oh, there we go. Minimize the game, and it wouldn't come back up for a moment. Had me sweating there. Okay, so the fully upgraded one is on the left, and the one behind me is on the right that you guys can't see, unfortunately. I'm just gonna find both of them at the same time and see which one overheats first. It should be the one on the right.
Keep encountering better gear. Call for an extraction when you want to get out of here. Don't be late for the extraction.
It's close.
Got it.
The overheat at the same time? What? Okay, that's interesting. Let's try the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 then. That's really strange. I would have thought that the Tier 1 would have overheated just that little bit quicker. That is that's weird. Or at least I thought the Tier 2 maybe would have had an extension on it. Yeah, they cut out both at the same time. The little beeping sound that you heard was them both running out. Incredibly strange. Like, I'm not against it. It's just with the upgrade, I would have thought not just range and damage, but the overheat would have been a little bit significant as well. So we got Tier 1 on the right. And on the left... Actually, no. What we'll do is on the left, we'll have Tier 1 as well. So A2 is Tier 1, A3 is Tier 2. Okay. So the one with the armor on the right hand arm, that's the strongest one. The one next to it is the slightly weaker one. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to go into another one again. Let's do... No, I was going to say Fleet Defense or Rain of Fire or something. I want something that starts up quick. Let's do Gates of Tbilisi and check for the range first. And then we'll also check the overheat while we're here. Could an Erica where it only used the stats from one of them to the other? Honestly, I'm not sure. I might have to actually ask about that or see what whoever else has had the hands on this as thought. Because I just think that even if it's just a slight bit quicker overheating, that it'd still be a little bit more significant as an upgrade. Right, so we got 260 and 310 for the strength here. 260 being the Tier 1. 200 being the Tier 0. Okay, so obviously, everything we hit here is gonna die. Proof says, Yo Moody, 6 hours 30 until new banner in GBO. We'll be around 8 AM your time. If you want an event grind, give me a heads up. Available all day. Ooh, I might do the same after this testing, then Proof, and then get on Forza and GBO 2 tomorrow. Okay, so let's try Tier 1 range. That looks like an extremely long range weapon. Hang on. I gotta get used to the range on this thing because I just spent like a good 30 minutes with the Tier 0 and the Tier 2. This one I'm firing now is the Tier 2. You'd expect that to go all the way across the map. Tier 1 on the other hand should go less. Kind of looks like it goes the same range though. I love the way I'm aiming at stuff and then the planes come over and bomb them all to hell and back. Okay, so we can get stuff all the way back as far as that communications pylon there, seemingly. If it doesn't get bombed by that. Even though it's nice and everything, it's hard to test stuff when you're having your enemies that you're hitting getting bombed. Okay, so we can hit them pretty far away with the tier 1. Let's try and get that guy there. Oh, bombed again. It's fine. No big deal. It's not as if I wanted to test the range on this or anything.
I can't keep it up much longer.
Let's try these guys.
We cannot lose this city.
Excuse me. So can we get them from here? Yes or no? That's with the tier 2. Oh, bombed again. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I can get them from there. So if I can get them from there with the tier 1 as well, and that's a bit kind of weird. Okay, it kind of looks like the same... At this point, anyway, it kind of looks like the same range. Stuff doesn't stick around in the air anymore either, that's good. I want to know what the difference is between them, because... The thing for me at the moment is I'm feeling like, especially with the tier 1 and the tier 2, there seems to be visually at least hardly any difference between them. Which is kind of a little bit annoying, primarily because it's like, well, what's the difference then? They both seemingly overheat at the same time, I think. They both have similar ranges, the only difference is the damage? What? I don't know. Maybe it's just me pushing for too many changes on the weapon. But,
Keep shooting.
I don't know, hang on. If you only try the one version and see a difference in how it responds, then the error is likely to occur on 2 types used together. Possible. Even if there even is an error. No, if it's not working as intended. This is the tier 1 and we... not the tier 1, the tier 2. And we know it should make these ranges easily. But the tier 1 seems to make those ranges just as well. It doesn't seem right that you have like a tier 2 upgrade and all it is increased damage. It's like, we're burning stuff there, that's fine. Question is, what's the range on the burn? Oh, that reminds me, I was going to test them both on overheating as well again, just in case I was not remembering it properly. When I flame something, yeah, it sticks to it, right? So if I go back here... Okay, we can't hit the building from the... God damn it. Everybody else is coming in now, I'm busy trying to do stuff here. Ah! I'm just going to burn through all the ammo and see what happens. The tier 2 is overheating faster. Did I press those at the same time? Did you use the tier 0 with the tier 2 range and heat check? Yeah, I did.
Calm down. We can do it.
I did, and they seemed to overheat at the same time, but there was a slight difference in range. Right, so tier 2. Sticks on the wall there. Sticks on the wall still. On the wall. Nope. On the wall from here? Where that car is? Okay. Just delete everything from existence for a moment, and then we'll try again. It's that from that car on the right. I just need to make sure that car doesn't get destroyed. Right, quickly. From about here. Okay, so it can't hit anything from there. Okay. Right, now can I hit something with a tier 1 from this range? Yes, I can. So there's hardly any difference. So, what about heat check?
They got one of the Bradleys.
Okay, heat check. They both overheating at the same time? Okay, so the only difference now, really, is just... There needs to be... Personally, I think there needs to be more of a significant difference between the ranges. And there obviously needs to be a little bit of a cooldown, or, you know, an overheat change, just to mix it up a little bit, to make them significantly different than each other. Because at the moment, it's like, apart from the damage output, it's starting to feel, especially if you're dual wielding, it's starting to feel like, well, what's the difference other than damage? Like, the difference between the tier 0 and tier 2 is at least a little bit more noticeable, because the range is slightly less on the tier 0. But then when it comes to, like, tier 1 versus tier 2, it looks like there's hardly any difference. Like, if I go to... If I restart this, I want to see if I had a difference in ammo as well, because you'd expect the upgrades to sequentially be better. So the tier 2 should have, you know, longer time to fire and quicker cooldown, but just by a little bit with the increased damage. And then the tier 1 should have slightly less range and slightly less time before it overheats, with the tier 1, the tier 0 being the one that overheats more and has less range. You know, so you can see it in steps as it's slowly progressing and getting better. Maybe the builds need a special map to test the changes without worry. There used to be like a firing range or whatever, but I think we cut it out a while ago. It might still be in here somewhere and just not got access to it. Right, let's see here. Weapon. Let's see what the stats tell me. Okay, so that one is the tier 2. The tier 1. Okay, so the tier 1 is in the left hand. So if I go to equip the tier 2 in the left hand, what is it telling me here? Apparently it's saying behind my character model, or rather my body, it's telling me that it's got increased damage and increased effective range by up to, what was it, 18, I think, on the stats. But it's just heavier. So, okay, yeah, it's got more damage. And I'm assuming that the range is more than the tier 0. Like, that's the tier 2, sorry, over the tier 1. Right, so what's the tier 1 got over the tier 0? If I go to tier 0, I'm getting slightly confused here. I equip the flamethrower. And then go to tier 1 and select the flamethrower. So the flamethrower again has more effective range at 132 compared to 100. And has 60 more damage. So the damage makes sense, right? Use the tier 1 on its own, see if it has the same results. Then do the tier 2. It could be the game trying to match the 2 on purpose. Yeah, I might try that. Hang on. Right, so the effective range goes from 100 to 132. And then from 132 to... How much is the difference here? Because if the difference is small, then that would explain it. 132 to 150, that explains it. That explains it. So we go from 100 to 132, and then 150. And because we're not halfway between the values, it looks like it's going longer than it actually is. If it was at like 120, 125, I'd say about 120. Hell, I'd even go as low as like 115. Because the other one is on 100, it's going to look longer than the tier 0, but it's not going to reach as far as the tier 2, which has the longest flame. Because the value for it is so close to the tier 2 right now, it's almost practically no point in it, you know. It's almost as if, you know, you might as well just slap it to 150 and have a slightly weaker version of the tier 2. because of it being that close. At least that's how it seems to me personally. You know, that's what's doing it. I knew it'd be in the stats or something. Like if I just hide myself here for a moment, you guys can see it. Okay. So we can see the tier 1 here, right? So if I hover over the tier 2, it'll tell me what the stats increases on the right. So in the right, in the green, it tells you, yeah, it has more damage, and it has more range, but when you look, obviously the effective range is only a tiny bit better. So essentially what you've got isn't sort of a short range, a mid-range, and then a long range. What you actually have is a short range, and then 2 long-range flamethrowers, but there's not enough difference to show you how long the range is. You know? Actually, I'd be half tempted to turn around and be like, look, the mid-range one, do it as like 120, 125, and then do the long-range one as like 160 instead of 150, just to really, really hammer in the change, you know, in the upgrade. Because, yeah, they all have the same heat value. Which means they all overheat equally the same. But yeah, at least the damage values seem to be better now. That's made me happy, at least. It took like another 40 minutes to get here with me thinking I was going crazy. But yeah, at least we know now. So I'm gonna have to go and report that. That's gonna be fun. So without me even having to test the tier 1 and tier 2 dual wielding, without me having to do that, that pretty much says it. A simple change would be to have a slightly unique flame animation between weapons. That's what I was saying with the tier 2, make it like a blue flame, but I don't know whether that's going to be implemented or not, or how easy it is to be implemented. It would be so good, though. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Hopefully, this will be one of the last times we test the flamethrower out. And I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just I want everybody else to get their hands on this and see what they think. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. So until then, bye!